Have you ever stopped to think how the difference between success and frustration can go far beyond the names on the ice? In the world of hockey, often the real game changer is on the bench. Those strategists who don't appear much on camera, but carry the weight of decisions that can change an entire season. And now, the Toronto Maple Leafs are betting heavily on that. With the arrival of Derek Lalonde as a new assistant coach, the franchise signals that it wants to go beyond the talent of its players and seeks leadership that can turn potential into real victories. To understand the significance of this hiring, we need to look back a bit at the recent history of the Maple Leafs. This is a team that, despite all the talent on its roster, carries the burden of a weight that has lasted more than 5 decades. Since the last Stanley Cup won in 1967, the Leafs have suffered disappointments, frustrating playoff exits, and the constant pressure from a passionate fan base that knows the team has quality, but still hasn't achieved what truly matters, the ultimate title. Amid this relentless pursuit, every decision off the ice takes on huge importance. The arrival of Lalonde is not a mere detail. It is a strategic move, a clear attempt to change the landscape. If you follow the Toronto Maple Leafs and want to stay ahead of everything happening, now is the time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and become part of our community. Here you will have exclusive access to in-depth analysis and first-hand updates. And more importantly, your comment could be the starting point for debates involving the entire passionate Leafs fan base. Derek Lalonde arrives at the Leafs with a resume that impresses any hockey lover. At 52 years old, he brings a mix of experience and victories despite still playing at a high level. His most recent stint was as head coach of the Detroit Red Wings from 2022 to mid-season 2024-25, where he faced the enormous challenge of leading a team in one of the NHL's most demanding markets. With a balanced record of 89 wins, 86 losses, and 23 ties, Lalonde showed he knows how to keep a team competitive and resilient even in difficult times. But perhaps what stands out most in Lalonde's career are his 2 consecutive Stanley Cups won as assistant coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning in 2020 and 2021. Being part of such a dominant team, in a role that requires deep tactical knowledge and analytical skill, proves he knows what it takes to reach and stay at the top of world hockey. Additionally, his international experience as assistant coach for the United States national team at the IHF World Championships in 2023 and 2024 adds an extra layer of understanding of the game at different styles and competition levels. Before shining in the NHL, Derek Lalonde built his career in lower leagues, where he learned to build winning teams and develop players with potential. He spent 4 years as head coach of the Iowa Wild in the American Hockey League, led the Toledo Walleye in the ECHL, where he was awarded the John Brophy Award as Coach of the Year after a spectacular season. His ability to lead teams at various levels and bring out the best in every player shows his versatility and commitment to hockey development. Behind the scenes of this hiring, it is clear the Maple Leafs management wants more than just an experienced coach. The choice of Lalonde reflects a search for a profile that combines tactical vision, experience in high-pressure moments, and the ability to work in synergy with top-level players. The team needs this balance to overcome the pressure and challenges that come with a franchise carrying extremely high expectations. This decision might signal that the Leafs want to make a shift in how they coach, play, and prepare for decisive battles. But what could this change actually mean in practice for the Toronto Maple Leafs? If Derek Lalonde manages to apply his strategies and experience, we can expect a more cohesive team with a stronger defense and an offense that makes better use of its chances. The impact won't just be on the ice, but also in the locker room environment, where a winning mindset could be the missing factor to turn talent into concrete results. On the other hand, this transition might take time and require adjustment, especially when integrating a new leader into the coaching staff and adapting routines and playing philosophies. Now we want to hear from you. Will Derek Lalonde be the element the Maple Leafs needed to finally end the drought and lift the Stanley Cup? Or will he be just another chapter in the team's long journey in search of glory? Leave your comment, share your expectations, and don't forget to subscribe to follow every update and analysis about this team that never stops fighting. The arrival of Derek Lalonde as assistant coach represents more than just a simple change in the Toronto Maple Leafs coaching staff. It symbolizes a strategic turning point for a team that for decades has lived between sky-high expectations and bitter disappointments. Lalonde is not just a name with a solid resume. He comes at a crucial moment when the team is searching for that spark that can finally turn all the talent into concrete results on the ice. In a scenario where every detail matters, his experience gained with championship teams and his ability to develop players are valuable assets for the club. But while the Leafs take this important step to strengthen their coaching staff, another intense chapter is beginning to take shape. One that could profoundly change the team's face next season. Mitch Marner, one of the brightest pieces since joining the team in 2019, is just days away from becoming a free agent, with contract renewal negotiations far from reaching a positive outcome. This situation places not only the player but the entire franchise at a crossroads that could redefine the team's direction for years to come. Marner is not just a talented player. He is a symbol of the Toronto Maple Leaf style and ambition. His offensive skill, creativity in plays, and importance within the roster make him a key piece. However, the emerging scenario suggests Matthews might end up carrying the team alone in a deeper playoff run attempt, without his main offensive partner. This opens space for a possible rebuild, with significant changes in the roster and management's planning. A detail adding complexity to the situation is Marner's strong desire not to sign with any Canadian team, which will hardly facilitate his stay in Toronto, despite still playing at a high level to consider negotiations with U.S. teams. Among the teams pointed out as possible destinations for Marner, the Nashville Predators stand out as one of the most viable options for a star-for-star trade. According to insider Lyle Richardson from Bleacher Report, one of the main pieces the Maple Leafs might target in a trade with Nashville is Jonathan Marchessault. The veteran forward and former All-Star had a season below expectations in Nashville, which could motivate the franchise to consider him negotiable. For Toronto, Marchessault represents a bet on experience and resilience, something that can help fill the void left by Marner's departure. However, the backstage of this possible negotiation is far from simple. Marner's no-trade clause may be the biggest obstacle to reaching an agreement between the teams. Moreover, the Leafs do not have enough high-impact draft picks or prospects to meet the Predators' demands, making the dialogue even more complex and strategic. Marchessault, despite his less impressive performance last season, showed his offensive ability by scoring 21 goals and 35 points in 78 games during his first season with Nashville. These numbers, although lower than Marner's 27 goals, indicate he still has the potential to contribute significantly if he can regain his best form. Leafs management is betting exactly on this recovery to keep the team competitive and able to contend for a title that feels increasingly urgent for the fans. For the supporters, this combination of news represents an emotional roller coaster. On one side, Derek Lalonde's hiring offers hope and a vision of growth in the coaching staff, with a professional who carries championship experience and a trajectory mixing success across multiple leagues and competition levels. On the other side, the possible departure of Marner, one of the most beloved players, creates uncertainty that could affect team chemistry and fan expectations for the next season. This is the moment when every decision made can have long-term consequences. Leafs management stand at a crossroads. Keep Marner and fight to renew his contract despite the difficulties, or pursue a trade that, despite the risks, could bring new elements to the roster and prepare the team for a different competitive cycle. And all this happens while the pressure to finally win the Stanley Cup has never been greater. We want to hear from you, passionate Leafs fan. How do you see this situation? Do you believe betting on Jonathan Marchessault could be the necessary boost to keep the team strong and competitive? Or do you think losing Mitch Marner will be too tough a blow to overcome? Leave your opinion in the comments and be part of this conversation that is already stirring the hockey world. And don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to catch all the latest updates firsthand. In upcoming videos, we will bring detailed analyses of the impacts of this possible trade, behind-the-scenes reactions, and what to expect from the Leafs' preparation for the next NHL season. This is the franchise's decisive moment, and you won't want to miss a single detail.